We're live for the first Tech Talk of the fall 2025 quarter. We got a great crowd on Zoom. Hopefully, we'll get some good views on YouTube later. And today, Tom is going to be talking about, if I remember correctly, student submissions in Panopto, which is kind of a big deal that a lot of people ask about. And we're going to talk about that. So I think, Tom, take it away whenever you're ready.
Okay, so I'm going to share my screen here just so I'm up and ready for when this happens, for when we kind of get into the demo part of this. So, hi, I'm Tom Gibbons. I'm the LMS admin here at Spokane Colleges. And I have been working with Panopto since we adopted it in the SBCTC. And it's come a long way. The interesting thing I think about Panopto is that you can do a lot with it. And because you can do a lot with it, it means that it tends to be fairly complex. And it creates these kind of that there are these workflows that you can do that have nothing to do with Canvas, but we provision everything through Canvas with Panopto. So to get your Panopto account, you go through Canvas. To log in, you use your Canvas credentials. It's all very like it's a lot, right? And there are easier ways to do this and there are harder ways to deal with Panopto in your classes. And one of the things that I want to focus on today is just kind of an easy sort of single workflow for dealing with student submissions. And we're going to look at both discussion boards and like creating video discussions in Panopto, and we're going to look at assignment submissions as well. And the kind of cool thing about this is with this particular workflow, it's the same regardless of how the students are submitting. It is the same thing. They use the Panopto tool in the rich content editor to place their video, to trigger the recording process for a video. All of it gets access through the same spot. So it's becomes relatively easy to support and to learn as a student. So there are two different assignment types that we could talk about in Panopto today. What we're going to focus on, or what I'm going to focus on, is student submissions as opposed to student interactions. So what I mean by that is students making videos and submitting them to the course for you to assess or for other people to watch or whatever. There are ways that you can embed quiz questions into your own videos and actually pass the grade on those questions back into Canvas as an assignment. There are ways where you can post a video as an assignment and grade students on the percentage of the video that they watch. There are ways to just put in videos that are not put in as assignments but do have quiz questions embedded as just kind of a fluency or like an engagement check, so that students can check that they understand what you're talking about. All of that stuff is really cool, but what we're going to talk about is how Panopto and Canvas as assignment components interface for students submitting their videos. So there have been a number of tools that have kind of come and gone around student video discussions. Flip, which was Flipgrid, was a big thing for a while. That is now tied directly into Microsoft Classroom. So we just have not integrated that into Canvas because we do have Panopto and it does some cool things. The media recorder in Canvas, you can use that too, but there are some drawbacks to using it. The media recorder and uploader in Canvas doesn't provide automatic captioning, and it doesn't allow you to comment directly on student videos in the timeline of the video. You can reply in discussions, but if a student submits a video to an assignment, say, you'd be over in the assignment sidebar commenting and going at timestamp whatever, and telling them specific things there. So one of the nice things about this, about using Panopto, is that if students are using it in discussion boards to do video discussions with each other, intro discussions, things like that, they do get auto captioned. That's not perfect for accessibility, but it is way better than nothing at all. So the Panopto captioning is actually pretty accurate for the most part. It's gotten a lot better since I first started using Panopto, and they put in auto captioning. It was it was like YouTube captioning 10 years ago, which was also terrible, if you remember. And YouTube captioning has come a long way as well. Um, so to kind of just move into what we're talking about here, I am actually logged into Canvas as a student right now in this course, which is sort of creatively named Panopto demonstrations. And what I want to show you is how this looks for a student who is, we're going to start with the discussion board. So I'm going to come down here to my self-introduction discussion. And I'm seeing stuff in the chat, but my chat collapsed. So let me grab this over here. Yes, you do not need to download any software to make this work. So that's a great question. But yeah, that's the lovely one of the lovely things about this is you do not have to download any software with the with Panopto Capture. You can use the Panopto recorder. There is also a Panopto app for mobile that you can use to record video if you really wanna, but you don't have to. So as a student in a discussion in a class where there's a discussion board, good practice is to give students instructions on how to post using Panopto. And it's really just like, hey, hit this button in the editor bar. If your screen is narrower, you might have to select the more icon, which is the 3 vertical dots, the little stack, the meatballs. And then like, here's the link out to the Panopto guide on how to create from capture. And so it's kind of starting, you kind of start here, you select a microphone. I'll show you this in just a second. But this is how this looks if a student posts in here. That this is what I see as another student. That's the student who posted this didn't have to adjust the permissions. They didn't have to do anything. They just went in, clicked the reply button, came over here to the Panopto recorder or the Panopto tool, and this automatically puts them into the assignments folder for this course in particular. Now, it used to be until about 5 days ago that you had to provision a Panopto assignments folder. So you had to go into your course, click on Panopto recordings in the course navigation, and then create an assignments folder for the course. There's literally like one tweak that we had to make to the Panopto settings that automatically provisions this assignments folder in a course the minute a student clicks on that Panopto recordings link or that Panopto tool in their RCE, rich content editor, which is the text editor thing. That did not used to be the way it was. So this is actually going to make things way easier than it was for you and for your students, because we were having these issues where students were clicking on stuff. Like I found this out at the beginning of the term. Students were clicking on stuff and trying to make recordings in discussion boards and couldn't. And I was like, but they should be able to, because every place else I've ever been, we had like a different setup on the back end for Panopto. And so I was like, I got to dig into this and figure out why this isn't working. Now it works. So it works. So like I said, I am in here as a student. I can choose a video that's already in this folder, but I don't have any videos available to me because this is the assignments folder. I can't do anything right here, right now. The other cool thing about the assignments folder is that it locks down the videos. Like when the student submits the video through and posts it into the assignments folder for the course, it locks it down. It controls the sharing settings, and it makes it so that the student can't edit that video afterward. So it's like it's just like if they submitted an assignment in Canvas, like a paper or something. That file is that file that they submitted, and that's it. Same sort of thing. So I can choose to access a video in this folder. Of course, there's nothing here. I could go to another folder and kind of pull it up, but like this is the best way to do this. Just use the default term, the assignments folder. If you want to get fancy or do other things, like we could talk about that, but this is like the simplified workflow, and it's going to work for most cases. There's an upload option here, but I'm not going to show you that yet. I will show that to you in a second demonstration today. But if I just go to record, I can just type a name here if I want to. It defaults to a date stamp, but I can say something like, uh, my intro, which is of course what you're going to get a lot of, but it's going to be stamped with the person's name who did it, so you're going to be able to see that. Now, I could use the recorder and launch the app, but or download it, but I don't want to do that. I just want to do this right in line in the browser the easiest way I can. And this is what happens. It's going to automatically pop something up and say, what do you want to do? Okay, well, I want to use, let's see, let's use this microphone because I'm not using it to transmit through Zoom. You all can still hear me, right? Okay, cool. Thank you. Just wanted to make sure I didn't like hose my audio going through to Zoom. Didn't think I did. And then here's my here's my webcam also, and I can just say allow while visiting the site. All right, so now I've got this. I can do things like record a screen, record an application, like pick a window, do the entire screen. I'm not, I can share the audio. I'm not going to do any of that right now. I'm just going to do a webcam. Like I'm introducing myself to to the class that I'm in. My microphone, I can see it's reading. That's great. I can see my camera. I have the whole preview thing here. All I have to do is just click this button right here. It puts me into 5-second countdown. I can also just hit the enter button and it will start. But I can just say, hey, my name's Tom. I'm here to study learning management systems in this class. Yay, me. And then I'm done. And then it says it's safe to close your browser window. So it's processing, it's doing stuff, but I don't have to do anything here. I can just close this tab. And then I hit the insert button here. And even if this is still processing, which it isn't, because it was just a 7-second video, even if it were still processing, it would say your video is processing, go ahead, and I can just hit the reply button. That's it. I've got an auto-generated transcript. It will show up because, I'm turning off the closed captions, but I can turn this on. And you saw the captions. I'm assuming like they were probably tiny on your screen, but there it is. Did the audio that audio did not come through, did it?
No, I didn't.
Okay, good, because it was loud. On my end, I could hear it. Good. But it was there, and that's can students edit the closed captions? Well, let's find out. I don't think so. But like if I pop out into Panopto here, autoplay, stop. I can get into captions here. I can download them, but I cannot edit them. As a student who posted this, I can't do anything to this video. There is something else that I want to show you, which is also, is there a time? No, there is no time limit. No time limit. It is just like you recording in Panopto. Like you can go on for an hour and a half and it doesn't matter. I want to show you this though too, because like I can come out here and go to the shared link. I'm still myself, right? Like I'm still this student. If I go in here and I say copy this link, and so I've copied it now. I'm going to grab a different demonstration student who is not enrolled in this course. If I paste that in, I don't know if you can see this, but it says you do not have access to view this session. So even if, as a student, like another student in the class could still copy that link, right? They could get there to the player, copy the link, send it to their friend and go, hey, look at this schmuck in my, English 102 class. Like, what a jerk, right? Watch this. They can't, right? This protects student privacy in a way that just like sharing in other ways may not. So like if a student uploads to YouTube or creates a video file and places it in Canvas and the students are able to figure out, because you can figure out how to download those files that are hosted within Canvas. You can get to those and download them, and it's not great and it's not nice. I don't mean to be like, yeah, students are going to do this, but students might do that, right? And so that is it's important to be like to have this kind of access control. They're still seeing the thumbnail, which is, I wish it didn't, but there it is. And I could also request access, and I don't think you would actually even be able to grant them access. I haven't tested that part, but like it's not, it's all controlled by the instructor at this point, right? Once it's placed.
On
So yeah,
have editing and moderation control of these videos, like if an instructor wanted to go in and correct a captioning or something like that, could the instructor do that?
let's find out. I don't, I mean, yes, actually, I think they can. Let me grab my instructor. Boop. So, yeah, I have these all set up like through the magic of television in a cooking show. Why,
Prepare.
thank you for that lead in. Yeah, I baked this one earlier. Um, if I go into, let's see here, if I go into, let's go into discussions. And let's go ahead and grab that self-intro discussion. And I'm just doing this to get into Panopto, honestly, because I don't have Panopto recordings turned on. Okay. So what I'm going to do is go into the student submissions here. Well, no, I can probably edit it from here. Can I? No, I can't. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go into the student submissions folder. I really am wanting to. I would like you to let me. Um, let's go to Spokane Colleges then. And let's go to browse. And I want Tom's course for this is my teacher. Yeah. Boo boo boo. Where's my
Is that first one there, default term learning management systems? Is that
no, it's actually default term Panopto,
no?
but I don't see it. Let me just search for it. There is though. Oh, here, my folders. Default term learning. No. Why don't I have the Panopto folder? Okay. Um, fascinating. Let me just go do this. Sorry, get to see me troubleshoot in real time.
That's the magical live television, Tom.
Yeah, I know. I know. It's burned. It's in the oven and it's burned. Okay. So let's go here. Um, oh, you know what? I didn't click on it because I didn't click on it. All right. And now, oh, it's right there. Derp. Okay. So here's my student submissions folder. Okay. And I could probably now go in and edit this. Yeah, absolutely. I can go in and edit any of these.
So the trick was you just didn't have the Panopto recordings tab enabled, so it hadn't
It
connected.
actually hadn't provisioned that yet. Why do I not have access? This is lame. Sorry. That shouldn't happen. It shouldn't happen. Uh, browse my folders. Panopto demonstration, student submissions. There it is. Edit. Oh, I don't have access to edit. That's cool. Yeah. There I am again with autoplay. Wait, there it is. Yeah, okay. Still same thing, probably. Yeah. So it's wanting me to sign into Canvas using Canvas, and I authorize it. And it's like, nope, you don't have access. You can't edit that. But if a student does submit that, and they if they post something to a discussion board and you're like, that was not great. It's just like anything else that they might post to a discussion board where you can go in and go, yeah, that was inappropriate. Let me just fix that error. Let me just go and get rid of that. I can delete it. I can edit it. I can go, just remove this. And now you can see it's been edited. Yeah, Jennifer, I'm seeing your thing. Like, yeah, that's exactly the issue. Or like somebody being like really abusive or whatever, we remove that. And if you are a student in here and looking at this, by the way, you would never. I'm going back to my student user, by the way, just so you could see I like drag that out of the way. Because I posted this, I can view the history as the student. But if I were the actual student, who If I were a different student, not the student who posted it, this is a different fake student in this class, which I did intentionally so that you could see what the student views look like. Um, I can't see anything. I can just see that the teacher edited it, but nothing about what they initially put in. It's gone, um, as it should be, right? So it's nice because there's that transparency with the discussion where the instructor can see what was there before and can demonstrate that if they need to. The student has recourse as well. It's transparent about what happened and they can see what they've done. Um, but the other students in the class are no longer kind of exposed to that. Um, so, all right. But not to get too much into discussion boards and Canvas discussion functionality, just sort of looking at, want to sort of keep focused on Panopto. But yeah, I mean, this is a good question. These are great questions, right? Anything else? Tusk committing course enrollment fraud. How?
Comms in this course.
I'm in this course, yeah, like 6 times. Actually, they're like they're these only student test student accounts, and then I have a couple of other ones as well. The one that's actually me that I use for everything at test student. That's this one, Tom Q Magoo, test student. So if you ever see Tom Q Magoo in a course that students are having problems with, it's because I put myself in as a student to test something that I couldn't test any other way. Just so you know. If you ever see that guy, that's me. Yeah, I am on my way to 6 degrees. It's true. Okay. So I am AI. I am everywhere. Not really. But like this is actually a good point. Like I say AI kind of offhand, but like yeah. Oh, we're at 3:26. So I'm gonna shut up and I'm gonna move on to the discussion to the assignment submission, and I can show you how that works too. So in modules, like we can set up an assignment. So same thing, right? Like here's my video presentation assignment. And I've already uploaded a video here to my instructor so that they can see it. I just said submit your video here for the instructions. Bad instructions, tell students what they're supposed to do. But I can see this as the student. This is what it looks like to me. Cool. And as the teacher, the way this looks is go into assign. Well, let me go to home because I have that'll come up as a to-do item, right? Grade this. All right. It shows it to me right here in line. I can pop this open and I can see there's a table of contents that got created for this video, which is just a demo of how to review student resubmissions. And then as the instructor, like I can also come in here and add comments, right? And I can say, oh, here's this comment. I can, and you can see down here on the, it's going to show on the timeline. So one of the things you would want to do is you can kind of, I'm going to put this here and I'm going to say, let me put a comment in here. I'm going to say, that's a great example, right? If I'm watching like a demo speech or something from a student, I can put that right in and I can hit the little airplane and it posts it right here, puts a timestamp on it. It's visible to the students. I can edit that. I can delete it, right? And as the student, like let's give me a 95, right there, graded, done. As the student, I come back in here, gonna refresh this page. Now I'm in the student again, and I'm seeing my information here. They don't get a notice that there's anything in Panopto because it's a separate platform, right? But so it requires a little bit of acculturation, but they can pop this open, look at the notes and see this, click on that. It's going to take them right to that point in the timeline so they can see what it is that you're commenting on.
Like if I was going to do that as an instructor, I'd probably want to make a note in the speed grader saying,
yeah,
I have left video comments. Here's how you get to them, or something like that.
Yeah, or in the instructions for the assignment itself, say, don't forget, this is how you give video feedback, particularly if you're using this kind of assignment regularly, then you only have to, if you make a mistake in those instructions, you only have to update it once, right? That kind of stuff. But I can actually, I'm over here in my instructor window right now. You can't see it, but it's off screen. I'm going to just say, check the video. for comments. And I'm going to post that, right? And so as a student, again, I'm going to refresh this. When I load this page, it says, when I look to the feedback, it immediately goes, check the video for comments. Oh, okay, let me do that. And then I can do that, right? And I'll know how to do it. When you are a student submitting to these kinds of assignments, this is what it looks like. You do the exact same thing that you did with the discussion board. Here's my week Y video presentation number 2, right? I have set this assignment up as an instructor to only allow text submissions, online submissions of text. That means all they get, this is the only option, right? And I don't want to say media recorder. I don't want to say URL upload. I just want to say this. This actually gives you quite a bit of flexibility. They can add files here. They could, do all kinds of stuff. But in this case, again, it's clicking that Panopto button. And that's a way to kind of encourage them to use that as the submission. And then they can just say, all right, I'm going to upload a video right here. And I'm going to put in this video, open. It starts to upload. It's done. I can choose some video embed options if I want. I wouldn't even talk about that. I would just say upload it and click the insert button, right? And then it comes in here and it's like, oh, okay, it's processing. Video will be ready shortly. Great, submit it. As a student, it'd be good if I waited and made sure that it did actually come in. So that's another thing. But like, if you see it, like saying video will be ready shortly, you're good to post. This did not used to be the way of things with Panopto. You used to have to sit and make sure that you waited for it to like be ready, and it would tell you, okay, I'm ready now, basically. This, it's all set, right? And as the instructor, I can then come back in to this assignment here, and I can see, again, I'm going to refresh and use my to-do list because it's a quick jump to that thing. And here's that second, the week Y, it's already here. This is, how long is this video? It's 1 minute and 40 seconds. So it's going to have a transcript. It's going to have captions, again, commenting on the timeline, all that stuff. So you can add a rubric to this assignment as well. So you could, on the assignment, you could just add a rubric, and it's Canvas rubrics, just like everything else. Like, this is as if you ask the student to submit raw text, like type of text response. You could still have a rubric attached there. Totally fine. So you get all of the advantages of like the regular kind of assignment workflow that you would expect that you would get in using Canvas, and all of the drawbacks. Like, all of the features are there, but you also can accept a video.
So Tom, as
Yeah.
an instructor, do I need to do anything to set this up, or literally because of the way that you now have the Panopto integration working, it's literally just a normal discussion board or a normal text-only assignment?
That's it. That is
So
all.
all you're really doing is adding instructions to prompt the students to use the recorder rather than to just type.
Yep.
Cool.
See, this is how this assignment is set up. Just text entry, online text entry. That's it. Because you get the Panopto tool is pinned to that rich content editor toolbar. There are 2 tools that are pinned right now. One is Teams, which I'm not sure why, but it is. Oh, okay, cool. Yay, balloons. One is Teams. I don't know why. It was that way when I got here. I'm assuming that's because someone relies on it. And the other one is Panopto Recorder. I will mention that anywhere you have the rich content editor, you can trigger that Panopto recording. Do not ask students to do that in an essay response in a quiz if you are also using Respondus Lockdown Browser. If you are using Respondus Lockdown Browser, it will not work, and you will make people cry and not know what's going on, because it needs to populate another web page that they're not allowed to go to. You can probably add it, but I wouldn't even begin to try doing that. Like, I would want to test that a lot before I tried to do it.
But if you're not using Respondus, you could do an essay question where you prompt them to record.
Yep, you could. And that's actually like, again, this is a way that you could get students to like in tests, like we've all seen the thing about agentic AI and browser agents and logging in, responding to quizzes, responding to assignments. You could ask them to post a video of themselves going, hey, this is how I felt, like being metacognitive about the quiz or whatever, right? Like, hey, this is how I felt about this quiz. This is how it treated me, or this is how this assignment worked for me, right? By just adding some additional reflective pieces that require students to be present. And I mean, I know there are issues, there are some equity issues around requiring students to be present on camera. I acknowledge that, but there are also like it's a balancing act. It's always our jobs are always a balancing act, like figuring out what values to encourage in a learning and discourse community, and what values we should be discouraging, and how to explain to students how they become members of this academic and discourse community, right? Like, how do we do that? And sometimes it does require us to be seen. Um, and that is, and sometimes the requirement to be seen is not a value, right? Like, is not legitimately valuable to the instructional enterprise that we're the educational enterprise that we're engaged in. So yeah, that's it. And I actually, like, somebody scheduled me for a meeting right back up against this one, so I do have to run. But I would love to answer more questions, and I will, if you shoot me an email. I'm happy to help. I'm gonna bounce. Nice to see you guys. Sorry I can't stay longer. Bye.
Bye, Tom.
Thank you, Tom.
Oh, Tom had left, but actually, right at the end there, I think he did a great segue or a great preview of next week's, not Tech Talk, but Teach Talks. Are you the one running that one?
Yeah, we'll be talking about kind of the application of this practice. So how do you think through the potential benefits and drawbacks of using it, when to use it with your students, that kind of stuff. So more of the
pedagogy and the teaching practice that goes along with the video recording tech. Cool. All right, thanks for coming, everybody. I'm going to end the live stream, but you don't have to disappear yet if you have any questions or want to chat further. Otherwise, see y'all next week. Thank you.
Hey, Tom.